So let's get you ready to master your material. Now, here is my first guideline. Mastering needs to be a separate process from your mix. So, to separate these, you need to export out your mix to a stereo audio file. This is the project with my song that I want to export out to do the master on. Now, first, what I want to do is set my left and right locators, or the start and end points of the song. At the moment, it's right at the beginning of my song. Now, I just want to drag this out so I've got a bit of silence before it begins. And the same for the end. I'm going to drag out the end locator here so I've got some silence at the end as well. Now, for the export out, or the bounce, I want to export this out at the highest resolution, or retain the resolution that I've got currently in the song. So with this song, I've got it at 44.1 kilohertz and 24-bit. If you're working at a higher resolution, just keep these settings. Maybe you're at 48 kilohertz and at 32-bit. Just retain these higher settings going into the mastering process. Down the line, at the end of the mastering, we are going to be dithering down to 16-bit, but just retain these high bitrate resolution and sample rate settings. Make sure that you're using an uncompressed audio format, such as WAV or AIF. And also make sure that no dithering is applied. I will explain dithering later on in the process. I'm going to click OK and export out the song with these settings. Then next, take this file that you exported out and add it or import it in to a new project. So here you have a stereo audio file. And the reason for this is to keep the mastering process separate from the mixing process and keep you less inclined jumping back to your mix and making changes. If you do need to make some changes to your mix, then you'll need to jump back to that project, make the changes, and export it out again and import it back into your separate mastering project. That's why I must stress that you get your mix right before proceeding with the master. This is a completely different process that needs a different mindset and fresh ears. Now, things you'll pick up after adding in the file is you'll get this waveform. And from here, you'll get a rough idea of the headroom and dynamics in your audio. You want to have a bit of extra headroom to work with, and your mix should reflect a good use of dynamics. So once you've made sure that you're happy with this, you're ready to master. Now, another good thing is to load up some metering applications to use while you master. Your DAW may have some bundled with it, or you can download some tools. So some things that I suggest: you need something to monitor the output level of your audio. And I'm going to load up these tools on the main output. Here I've got a selection of some metering tools I can use. This is a loudness meter. So this will show me the loudness of my audio when I play back. And next, you want something to show you the frequency spectrum of your audio. So over here, I can load up the multimeter. And this has this analyzer view here, showing me the frequency of my audio in my song. And then you also need something to show you the stereo spread of your audio. So this meter over here is showing me my mono and stereo reflection of my audio. And another handy thing to have is a correlation meter. So with a correlation meter, this will show me any phasing issues. If it goes into the positive, there's no phasing issues. If you go into the negative, then you've got some phasing issues that you'll need to address in your mix. If you're looking for some free tools, Vox & Go has a great free tool called Span, which shows you the frequency range and the loudness of the track. And then Flux has a great free stereo image tool that will show you the stereo spread of your track. And an alternative to the loudness meter is a level meter. And with here, I can choose to show the peaks and the RMS, which is the average level meter of the audio. So if I'm playing this back, here's my peaking of the audio, and this is my average loudness of the audio. So just see if you can find tools like these that you can use to help you meter your audio and just help you along with the mastering process. You ultimately need to use your ears, but these extra tools you can use just to confirm what you're seeing is what you're hearing. Now, in this section, I'm going to cover some of the core mastering processes, and that's mastering EQ correction, multiband compression, stereo width enhancing, limiting, and then some extra tools such as adding tape warmth and harmonic exciters. To show you what we're going to achieve, here is my track before mastering. And then here it is after mastering. You can see that the overall waveform has been increased in level so that it can match up with other commercial releases when it's played back against it. And also, when you listen back, you'll hear how the audio has been enhanced through the mastering processes. So equip yourself with tools that you can use for mastering. Throughout this section, I'll recommend software that you can use that you can add to your mastering toolkit. So if you have some mastering plugins in your DAW, that's great, but it's also good to invest in some other third-party options down the line to get the most out of your mastering. Now that you have an idea on what can be achieved in mastering, let's jump into the first mastering processor. That's the mastering EQ or linear phase EQ.